This is Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law with Debbie London Baker.
Well, another question came in, and it is related to wills. We can shift gears over to wills right now, if that's okay. What are some things that need to be considered before I contest a will? So apparently they must be going through that process right now. So what are some things to consider before contesting a will?
Well, one thing to consider is how much is the contest going to get you if you win. I mean, that's the financial consideration. So, because that's litigation. So litigation is an hourly fee with a substantial retainer to an attorney to follow it through to the end. So that's one of the things to consider. I'm not saying anybody shouldn't call to find out what the retainer would be and to give somebody a background on what's at stake. So that's one thing. People will contest wills because they think they were left out inadvertently, which can certainly happen. I think I told you once where somebody had all of their nieces and nephews. They just included all their nieces and nephews as a blanket. It's called a class,
right.
A blanket class. And then when the person did his will over again, he left one of the nieces out. And because she wasn't specifically named, she did not get part of his estate. So, you could claim that. That could be a mistake, but then you have to prove that whoever wrote the will didn't have mental capacity to write it or was unduly influenced by somebody in their environment who said, we're not including Debbie in this. She never comes to visit you, which is not true. People with dementia and stuff like that. So
right.
If you think you have a contest, you should absolutely check it out. But you have to, and I've had a couple of people who want to contest a will purely based upon the principle of the thing. Well, I mean, that's their right. I don't do that kind of work, but that's their right. And in one case, I have referred her to somebody who is going to, help her either win or not win, but take it to court. And I actually think this woman has a good case. It's just not something I do.
Gotcha. Well, what's your advice? I know I hear all these ads for, do your own will kind of stuff. And I know there's a lot of things you can DIY. You can go onto YouTube or Google and find out a lot of answers. But we've talked about it on this show in the past that doing your own will may not always be the best idea. But what's your advice for somebody who wants to do their own will?
If somebody wants to do their own documents, whether it's a will or whatever, online, I don't recommend it. The thing I would recommend is if you're going to do that, you run it by an attorney to review it to see if it's really expressing your wishes. I mean, somebody might charge you a few $100s for that to review it, but you'll be more. I think you'll go away more confident that it says what you want, and B will hold up, so to speak. That it's been executed correctly, witnessed correctly, notarized correctly. I think it would be real easy in a do-it-yourself will to get it signed and witnessed, but then not have it notarized with an extra document which pretty much says that, Joe watched you and me witness, Cindy's document.
Gotcha.
Which, when Hillsborough, Florida, wants those self-proving affidavits. If you have one without it, it just becomes more difficult because then you have to find the witnesses and have them sign oaths, and it's not impossible. It's just more difficult. So if you're going to do it yourself, find an attorney, get a referral to an attorney, and ask them to review them for you. Fees would be whatever they're going to be, but it's better than just leaving them and having them done by yourself, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's probably a lot of folks driving around right now that don't have a will or have questions about what we're talking about, probate, estate planning, things that what could happen to their kids, God forbid, something happened to them. What you talked about at the very beginning about why you shouldn't have your minor children listed as beneficiaries on your life insurance policies, all of these kinds of questions. Best thing to do is talk to a professional, and guess who who that professional is in this case. It's Debbie Baker from London Baker Law. And you can find out how to get in touch with Debbie. She's right here in the Tampa Bay region. And the good news is that she can meet with you with a no-obligation consultation. She'll probably talk to you on the phone if you like to pick up the phone, or you can go on the website and request a consultation. It's londonbakerlaw.com. Debbie, as always, just a lot of information here, and really important information. If you love the people in your life, you got to do the plan in the event that something happens to you. And look, there's one thing for certain beyond taxes, and that is death. Just when it is, we don't know the answer, right, Debbie? So got to get that plan in place. Debbie, thanks so much for being a part of the show today.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Have a great one.
Talk to you again next time.
This has been Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law. Learn more at londonbakerlaw.com. Thanks for listening.